Hi, I'm Hannah Kennedy, and I'm sitting here with Ernie Hartong, CEO of ARCSI, and John Barrett, Executive Director of ISSA, and we're here to find out about the merger of these two companies. So John, for the benefit of Ernie's ARCSI members who may not be so familiar with ISSA, will you tell us a little bit about the association?
Well, of course, Hannah. So ISSA represents the Worldwide Cleaning Industry Association. And unlike some trade associations which might represent a segment, we represent literally the whole industry. So it's manufacturers, it's distributors, it's contractors, it's manufacturers' reps, and all the consultants that kind of keep the wheels rolling in our industry. Our reach is quite broad. We have over 7,000 members in 80 countries around the world, and we maintain offices not only here in beautiful Chicago, but in Albany, New York, Shanghai, Mainz, Germany. We're soon to open an office in Sydney, Australia, and then of course, Ernie will have your operation in Columbus, Ohio.
Well, thank you, John. So one for you, Ernie. Why is ARCSI merging into ISSA?
Well, I think, first of all, this is not new for us. We've had a very strong 12-year relationship with ISSA, and it was really started when Diana Steinbach invited us to be a co-locator at the annual Interclean show. And fortunately, Kim Altoff has continued that tradition now since Diana is in Europe. But beyond the show itself, we've had a great relationship with Bill Ballack in Legislative Affairs and other members of the ISSA staff. So when John invited Jeff Lang, our president, and I here back in June to he wanted to get to know, as your new executive director, more about ARCSI, one of his co-locators. And the subject came up of, how can we make this relationship stronger and closer? And quite frankly, merger seemed like the logical next step.
So does this mean that ARCSI's name will change?
Absolutely not. We've had a merger task force made up of ISSA and ARCSI representatives that have been kind of working through some of those details, and one of which is it will not change. We will be ARCSI, a division of ISSA.
Well, excellent. So as an ARCSI member, let's say, what would my new membership look like?
It's not going to change. It's only going to be enhanced. You're going to have the same three folks in Columbus to answer the telephone and respond to your questions and concerns. We're going to have our website will still be there. Things won't change. What will change will be all the new resources that will be available to you, whether it's ISSA's video library, whether it's receiving the ISSA Today magazine, or again, the wonderful speakers folks get at the Interclean show.
So along those lines, who will be running ARCSI?
Ernie will still be the guy that will be running it, but truly what will happen is our members will continue to run ARCSI. We will have within ISSA structure, a residential cleaning council which will be made up of our current board members, and our process won't change, and they'll continue to be a resource and provide information and make sure that our programs that we develop jointly are still meeting the needs of our membership. So ultimately, the members will continue to run ARCSI.
Well, that's good to know. So John, I'm sure one of the first questions ARCSI members will want to ask is how this change will affect them financially. Can you tell us some more about that?
Well, Ernie J. Hartong has made sure that we don't charge more for membership, and that's really consistent with our desire to preserve the value that exists within ARCSI and build on it with strong ISSA support.
That's good, and that's great news for membership. So let's talk trade show. Ernie, will there continue to be separate residential cleaning education sessions at ISSA Interclean?
Absolutely. Kim Altoff, again, our liaison with ISSA for Interclean, and I have, we're working on the upcoming show, obviously, which will be here very, very soon. But secondly, we've talked about future conventions, how those might look. And again, they're absolutely committed, and Kim's absolutely committed to making sure there's a residential track. We'll continue to provide idea for speakers and resources, but again, for the resources of ISSA, we can bring in some other folks that maybe we don't have access to that ISSA does to even improve in those programs. So that will still be the same.
Well, that's good to know. John, can you tell us a little bit about other benefits ARCSI members will gain from becoming ISSA members?
Yes, Hannah. If you think about it, it's always about resources. ARCSI has a proper vision for its place in the world in our view, and what they lack are the resources. And the ISSA staff is literally, and I'm not bragging, Ernie, I'm just saying, we're 20 times the size of ARCSI. So there's a lot we can do in support of membership, recruitment, education, training, certification, plus kind of taking all that back of the house stuff that tends to weigh you down and free the staff of ARCSI to higher value activity.
So, do you have anything specific in mind as far as the benefits that they'll receive from this merge?
I think there's three things, Hannah, that come to mind. Number one, the world has become an increasingly competitive place. So legislation and lobbying are things that smaller organizations can't do. Our opinion counts in Washington, and we look forward to representing the views of the ARCSI members. Number two, we talked a little bit about training and certification. We think our online platform offers immediate benefits and access to information to the members of Ernie's organization that they just don't have today. And then finally, we really didn't talk about it earlier, but there's no question that as part of the worldwide cleaning community, there's a network here. And we think that the ability to draw in and allow your members, Ernie, to participate fully in that network is very, very important.
And that's so true. But before we sign off today, Ernie, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I think that John and I are excited. The ARCSI board and our Emeritus Council is excited. They have enthusiastically endorsed this merger and looking forward to move forward. But at the end of the day, our members still have to approve it. And that will be done at our annual meeting, which is coming up as part of Interclean. And we're asking for their support based on what I've seen on social media and members I've talked to directly. I think we're going to get that support. I think they recognize the opportunity in this merger that it will bring to them. But that still has to happen. There needs to be a vote, as there should be.
Yes, absolutely. John, did you have anything you'd like to add before we sign off today?
Well, look, Ernie's got the same problem that I do. In effect, we already have the full support of our executive committee and our board. They've approved the transaction. But we have to go to our members and seek their approval, and we fully expect that. It's a natural, Hannah. And if you think about it, right, today in America, there are 25,000 firms that are in the business of residential cleaning, and they are underrepresented in the marketplace. We believe that this union not only creates a whole new class of membership for ISSA, but an important new voice. So we're really excited about it.
Wow.
Sounds great to me.
Yes, I'm very excited. Thank you so much for your time and for explaining what's happening here. And thank you for watching.